welcome back. The party is not done here on Morning Edition. We are back with our carnival segment, so we're joined by Atillah Springer and Mohammed to tell us more about this year's Kambule celebration. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, good choice.
So let's talk about Kambule. Every year we have it's a celebration. It's not dying. For many people are saying that there are a lot of celebrations dying. I don't see this dying at all.
No, I think that it's sort of become one of the few things in Carnival that people look forward to, that maintains some sort of artistic and historical integrity. And I think that that's the thing that attracts people to it the most, you know. And I think that the fact that it happens in those early dawn hours, you know, adds to the mystery and the beauty of it. People still come. I mean, you know,
like they're worried about I not getting my sleep to come out to this. They will wake up.
No. People come straight from fets. People come, you know, I'm there from 2 in the morning, and you know, already the stands are full. I mean, you know, you think that you're going to reach first in the party. Actually, you know, there are people who are there because they want to get a good seat. They want to make sure that they don't miss anything. And I mean, you know, I think that's testimony to the fact that people are interested in the history, people are interested in culture, people are interested in knowing more about themselves.
It's an institution.
Yeah. So what's your role in this? What's the plan this year?
I've been playing the Hero 1, which is one of the main narrators for the last like 4 years now. So you carry the play via dialogue, you know. Yeah.
So what is it that
the ringmaster?
What is it maybe that this year that might be different from other years, or we stick into the formula that has been working?
Well, there's one thing that's significantly different, and that's the time. Usually we start at 5, but this year we're starting at 4 because we want to preserve that mystery. And sometimes we find that, you know, the sun is coming up and some of the mystery is lost. And also, too, people just have so many things to do on Carnival Friday. So we want to make sure that we get in there early. We get the Kambule reenactment done. It's part of making that special magic happen on Carnival Friday morning. So we're starting it a little earlier, but I mean, people are there anyway, so we might as well start a little earlier and make sure that we finish early, so that, you know, there's so much other stuff happening.
Now, of course, there's hardly any Trinidadian who does not know about the riots, but we have some...
Oh, you would be surprised. You'd be surprised how many people do not know.
Every year we do it.
Yeah, but
listen, every year the story don't change. It's history.
People don't know. The story doesn't change, but people have to be interested in the actual story. And I really, like, for those who've always heard about it but never come, you should really come. This is something that literally changes people's lives when they understand the root of Carnival, because this tells you that it was almost lost.
But let's talk about that, because let's explain this to the Trinidadians who may not know, and the tourists who are here and for some reason who are up and watching this show. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Yeah.
So tell me about the riots. Give us a quick background about what happened that day.
Okay, so basically what happened was that there were always 2 carnivals, and I mean, certainly that is the case now as well. You know, we have a situation where there's the carnival of the Jamettes, the mass, and then there's the carnival of the upper classes,
yes,
the people who can afford, to go to
sushi and soca. We reached that. Sushi and soca. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So I mean, in reality, we are sort of back in 1880, the 1880s.
Hey, history repeats itself.
Right, history is repeating itself. So what you had was a situation where the colonial authorities decided that these black people were making too much noise, because at that time, what was happening is that the Juve celebration was moved, because Juve used to happen at Emancipation time, right? And the Kambule that happened then, Kambule meaning procession, right? The Kambule that happened at that time was a celebration of emancipation. It was a part celebration, part commemoration of all of the evils of enslavement, and part commemoration of ancestors, right? So that's why there was a lot of masking, because in African tradition, the masking is part of the honoring of ancestors, right? So there was all of that going on in the celebration, plus the stick fighters who would meet and fight, right? And there's that thing about ritual, the ritual of violence. which all civilizations have. All civilizations, wherever you are in the world, have some martial art or martial tradition within which they celebrate and understand that violence is part of the human condition, right? So you have this Kambule that is happening in the pre-dawn hours, which is cause for concern for the colonial authorities, right? Because basically you have these people who were enslaved about 20, 30 years ago, who have these similar conditions happening in their lives, and they have no jobs, they have no, I mean, it's a similar situation, right? And there's need to control that. There's need to stamp out whatever manifestations of art and protest happen in these communities. And so in 1880, Captain John Baker, who was the head of the police at the time, he stamped out the celebration. He took away the bois from the stick fighters. He stopped the drummers from drumming. He arrested several people. And so in 1881, basically what happened is that all the stick fighters from all the different communities got together and they said, well, we have to do something about this. And in fact, there's an actual eyewitness account that was given to J.D. Elder, who was a great cultural historian from Tobago. And it said that the stick fighters swept the road with the police, right? That was what they did. That was how the description of what happened at the Kambule riots, right? And so that was a moment at which people who knew and understood what their celebration meant to them.
Do we still fight for anything like that?
Not like
absolutely.
that.
Not like that. Not like that. Because I mean, for a lot of us, we don't understand why we do certain things. We don't understand the historical, the spiritual, the cultural significance of.
And that's why the Kambule is so important, because every year it gives you a chance to kind of renew. What is this for? Because the carnival, as it must, is evolving. We criticize it however we want to, whatever. We criticize the music, but it must evolve, right? If it doesn't evolve, it's going to die. But as a thing evolves, you must always remember what the root of it is, because it anchors you to always come back to the source, to draw from it, to go forward again. Because if you don't do that, then you kind of just stretch yourself out, you know what I mean? It's like you start off drinking tea, and then you're drinking hot water and calling it tea, and you're like, wait, we used to drink tea, let me go back to where they used to make tea. Right. You go back and you figure it out, and then you go forward again, you know? So, for me, that's what the Kambule is this constant renewal, you know? If you don't know
where you came from.
Yeah, if you don't know now, you know, you know?
Now, is there a need, as you just talk about this elitism in carnival, or these two carnivals, is this the year that we really need to go back and say, listen, we need to bring everything back and be one again?
When we need to go back, we will go back. Because the thing is, a lot of people will say, or pontificate. Yeah, let's do this, let's do that, we need to do this, we need to do that. But the thing is, the carnival is its own animal, you know. Yeah. It's its own beast. It don't follow the laws of man. It does what it needs to do. And when the time comes, if the time comes, and it needs to change itself, it needs to go back to our roots, it will do that. It will do that. And
so it's going to be organic. It'll just happen.
But also, too, people who have a problem, people who genuinely have a problem with it, are going to do what needs to be done.
That's it.
So everybody have their job to do. Everybody has their role to play. Everybody sees carnival means different things to different people. And if it means this particular thing to you, then you have to make sure that you claim the space to make it mean what it means to you. And so it's not really about condemning somebody else for doing what they have to do. I mean, that's how they see it, and that's their choice.
A real good example to me is like Rudder, you know. But if Rudder didn't sit down and be like, boy, you know, I need to change the whole account, so that's what I want to do. No, the time came. I personally, watching Calypso Fiesta, the time has come, right? The time has come.
A lot of people were not happy with
No, because it is unnatural for any art form to not evolve. Calypso is refusing to evolve. So what you need to do is go back to the Kambule, go back to the roots and see why Calypso was formed, and then you will understand your current context and what you need to do, which is to be yourself, oppose the wrong and support the right. You know what I mean? And then you will find in your own self something positive that's different. Because, you know, the current style of Calypso is it kill anything, right? It kill it, right?
I mean, you know, the root of it is lavwe, right? And lavwe means the truth. Le vrai, lavwe, right? The truth, right? So where's the truth in what we have now in our music.
And truth is something make it listen for, you know. Truth is something, yeah. So
it comes out.
When if you look at the crowd, when somebody come out and they speak something that touch people, people respond.
Exactly.
They can't lie. You know what I mean? That is the beauty, again, going back to the Kambule, that's the beauty of it. You can't lie. When you come out there on that morning, and that first conch shell blow, and that chant will pick up that chant at 4:30 in the morning, something inside of you is just still, and you know this is something happening here.
Yeah. Now at 4 o'clock in the morning, of course, everybody is worried, security and all of that.
The Kambule has never had any incident of robbery, fight, never in all the time that I have been going to it, and I have been a part of it. I can't recall a single incident where anybody was robbed, hurt, anything. No car stolen, none of that, and this is behind the bridge. But I want to talk about where they start and where everybody feel everything is, it's right there. And nothing, never.
The community is very much involved in the celebration. The community,
right? This is, it's where it all
began. It's them. We are given their story, our story.
So who are the actors who come out and act in these portrayals?
Well, Muhammad is one of them. Right. We have Ken Alexis, who is the
quintessential.
Keon Francis, who is Pero. We have some new additions this year. We have Mackenzie Algernon, who is also a Pero. We have members of the DCS. Exactly. Brendan Lakai is playing the Pero.
So is this from any particular acting troupe or?
Well, you see, in the same way that in the Kambule, in the time of the Kambule riots, there were different communities that came together. That's the same philosophy that's used to bring together this performance. So there's the DCFA, which is at UE, Belmont, Freetown Cultural Group, Wasafoli, Chibale. There are different community cultural groups that come together to make this performance happen, in addition to the actors as well.
Do you find that you get a lot of young people coming out and saying, I want to be a part
of
it?
There are quite
if I don't understand it, I want to be a part of it.
There are quite a few teenagers, young people who are studying theater, who, realize, we have such a strong tradition of street theater in this country, whether it's Ramlila, we have so many different forms of street performance, folk theater in this country, and Kambule taps into that energy. It taps into that vein of, the performance happening on the street, and sometimes you can't tell who is the audience and who is the player, because the people get into the performance and they start to shout at the governor too and say, hey, governor, So that's the energy that we want to get from the people, that they understand the conversation that's happening and they understand why we need to claim this space for ourselves.
And the beauty of this too is that as far as I know, this isn't happening anywhere else in the world. This is another thing that Trinidad has, that is Trinidad, just like the Emancipation Day Parade and these things. It's ours. This is ours, And yeah, if you haven't seen it, I don't know what planet you're living on, but you really need to come and see it. Not because we are in it, not because it's our plan. It is on TV, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
You gotta be out there. You gotta be out there. And when it's done, go and get your cup of cocoa tea, free. Not free, but courtesy the ministry or whatever. Get a nice cup of proper cocoa and your bacon, saltfish, and go.
All right, we're going to have to leave it right there. Kambule, of course, Carnival Friday, every Carnival Friday. That's
4 a.m. this morning.
4 a.m. this morning. So, wake up early and come out.
Or just come straight from your fete, whatever fete you're going to.
Just stumble across.
Don't sleep like cameraman any back there. We dancing,
We are going to take a break and be right back. We have a very special guest. Stay with us.
I can see a very
I feel into the whole kind of thing. I don't know what it is happening. I under it.